a simple point to make, and then I think there's a more complicated point to make. The simple point is this. Anybody who starts a business does so because they have a fierce and ardent belief in themselves and who they are and what they stand for. In the trades, that question has remained largely tied to technical aptitudes. And in training classes and in multiple conversations, when I have heard people talk about the markets and how competitive it is, the automatic thing that I tend to think about is that the role that the brand plays is fundamentally to help you decommoditize yourself. If you and your company are viewed as a commodity, you can only command a commodity price. And it really is as simple as that. Brands are the DNA of your business. They are the heart and soul of your company. It's more than a font. It's more than a letterhead. It's more than a script. It is the blood in the veins of the business. And to define that gives you a real competitive advantage over the people that you want to take business from. Ben, if you go forward. So the point is really simple, right? If you are tired of competing on price, right? And if you're tired of the old talking points, if you've heard yourself say family owned and operated since 1982 so many times that it no longer feels fresh, then give me a call. Your brand in your company, to Ben's point, is your most valuable asset. Knowing who you are, knowing what you stand for, is your most valuable asset, and it is the most defensible position to take in a marketplace that really does drive toward the middle. And that's the role I have played here. I can help you define your brand and communicate it to the market with the assistance of so many other people on this fantastic series here. So that's the simple point. I think the more complicated point is best articulated by one of my favorite writers, Sister Zora Neale Hurston, who wrote a book, Their Eyes Were Watching God. And it's a fantastic book. And in it, she says, you got to go there to know there. When this series started, we began to go through, in my opinion, a period of social, financial, economic, health unrest that I've never seen in my entire life. I've never seen anything that we're going through in my entire life. And, historically, we'll probably look back at this and consider it somewhat ephemeral. But when I was thinking about Zora and this great quote, what she's saying is that in order to truly know something, you actually have to walk that mile. And in the course of this series, in the course of all the changes that have been happening, there have been multiple perspectives and there have been multiple opinions. There have been multiple disagreements and equally so multiple agreements. It's impossible to pass judgment on the things around us, socially, politically, in terms of business, what we're doing here from one point of view. And I think that's been the strength of this series, is that you've heard many points of view about how to thrive in the new abnormal, as it turns out. But I think along with that, you also have to commit to unlearning. And I think that's the commitment I'm going to make to my own business and to this series going forward, is that nobody has this figured out right now. Nobody can say, I've got the answer in a box and here it is and it's going to work. Because we all know that's not the case. That we have to continually unlearn the things that have been very reliable in order to create the next survival strategy, the next iteration of our own companies. And that necessitates deep collaboration. It necessitates suspending opinions and judgments, because you do indeed have to go there to know there. Collaboration and unlearning, in my opinion, will ultimately be the two best decisions any of us can make in order to continue to evolve and grow our businesses. And that includes building a brand.